I am fantastic. I'm actually doing I'm doing better than I was over the weekend. Had to give Johnny to VMI, so that was a little I was a little teary-eyed of handing over the grandson. But
I like the shirt. Very cool.
yeah. Yeah, Terry has one that says VMI grandma, but nobody ever calls her grandma, they call her Nana. And
Mm.
so I'm like, it's really weird to see her wearing anything that says grandma on it because it's just not that's not what we call her. Isn't it funny though that as you've gone through life, like when you were a kid, you had a name, but then as soon as you got one of these roles like dad or well, you don't have grandpa yet, but
Yep.
then all of a sudden you're like, hey, what's up, dad? And then the spouse starts calling, ask dad, and then you refer to each other as mom and dad. I don't know if you did that at your house or not, but Terry and I did that. And then it's like, what's up, Nana? What's up, grandpa? Anyway, totally.
Yeah, you do get different names. Yeah, Denise always laughs that she was Mike's sister and now she's Stu's wife, and W- Will's Will's mom.
There you go. So cool. So other than that, I'm fantastic and having some good workouts and, just there you go.
You know
So
what I've been doing, Jim?
what's that?
I've been never quitting. That's what I've been doing.
Okay.
And what does that mean? Well,
Hey, Stu, when you say you've been never quitting, what does that mean?
I will tell you. Um, One, I always am focused on some form of goal,
Okay.
right? So you got to have that down the road because that keeps you in the heck. That keeps you in a mindset of movement. But something I realized today while I right in the middle of my run
Uh-huh.
is it's not that we need to really focus on never quitting.
Uh-huh.
We need to focus on never stop starting. You know what I mean? You always gotta focus on the hardest part is starting a project.
Hmm.
It's not so much quitting the project, right? So there's somewhere right there in the middle that I've been playing around with, and trying to get people just to start. And
Hmm.
it can be everything. It can be everything from physical activity, reading a book, entrepreneurship, starting a project. Then you keep going and you never finish it, or never quit it.
So I'm gonna add a couple things to this. All right. Um, and we'll get some reaction from people. Okay. Um, so never quitting kind of assumes that you've started.
Yeah,
I mean that if you know what I mean.
absolutely.
You can't quit once you ain't started. That's
Yeah, never quitting's easy when you don't start.
right. But part of the reason is to, you know, before you start, you got to define the goal, and within defining the goal, there's a bunch of little mini steps of you got to define what you want, you got to define why you want it, you got to believe you can get it, you got to have faith that it's gonna get here.
Yeah,
And then once you do that, you enter the action phase. And the action phase is you got to start. And I have some thoughts on starting. I know you do too. By the way, gang, this is unrehearsed. Not we were going to talk about onboarding email sequences today, but you know what? I'm going to let Stu. We're gonna Stu's going to dictate. But it's starting. Then it's finding the time.
Mm.
and then it's never quitting. And in here somewhere is I'm gonna. This is where habit kicks in.
Yeah.
Is right.
Schedule. Got to put it on the schedule because.
If it's not on the list, it doesn't exist.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, well, I heard that from you, Stu.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I usually say if it's not on the schedule, it doesn't exist, but I like the rhyme better.
yeah, if it's not on the list, it doesn't exist.
Yes.
But here I'm gonna clean. Look at how clean this is. This is Mrs. Van Encini would be so happy. Um, and no, that's not a security question anywhere. So if you're a hacker and you're thinking, "Wow, Jim's kindergarten teacher was Mrs. Van Encini," okay, great. That doesn't do you any good. Because I couldn't spell it then, and I sure as hell can't spell it now. So, but the goal is it's a target. Sometimes the goal is a target. Like I want to make 100 grand. I want to lose 50 pounds. It's a standard. The goal is, I'm going to work out every morning at 6. It's an outcome, financial freedom, whatever. So goal can mean a lot of things,
Sure.
but you got to define the goal, what it is, why you want it, believe you can do it, and then the what. There's all kinds of visualization stuff that I use, and I know you do a lot of visualization
Yeah.
as well. This sounds almost like we could do this as a course, Stu.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Um,
people use the word manifesting. I don't really like that word. I don't know why.
why?
I don't.
Why?
I mean, I just don't like to use that word. What you
Hmm.
just said up there,
Yeah.
what, why, believe, and faith, it's the
Uh huh.
same thing. It's the same thing. It's
It's
just,
just broken down.
just yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah. It's
I
less
see
woo.
it. Yeah, I see it better when I hear what, why, believe, faith versus somebody says I'm manifesting greatness.
Right.
Um, yeah, I just
We
want to
plucked
puke.
the woo woo out of it and turned it
Right.
into Jim and Stu like no bullshit, is
There
what
you
you're
go.
saying.
No
Okay.
fluff. No fluff.
So yeah, no fluff. That's see, you're the nice suburban dad. I'm the uncouth redneck from the swamps of Virginia. Let's talk about this for a second, just for grins, because this isn't. I guess this is something that I always just take for granted. Like I don't. But I have a confession. Been thinking about this a lot lately. I I used to be a quitter. I would quit stuff back in the day. A lot of reasons, man. I wouldn't finish stuff. Now I leave things unfinished, but it's usually because it either accomplished its objective and I don't have to take it any further, or I've taken it far enough that I can see that's like, this isn't going to get me where I want to go. I need to start something else, if that makes sense. But I still have to force myself to finish sometimes. I will admit.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
it's
me
still
too.
it's a weakness. Okay, but for me, starting also was a hard thing to do because I was focused on holy crap. It's like if you're going to graduate from college, I told John, it's about 1,300 days plus or minus. Okay. But in order to get there, you're going to have to do each day successfully. And you never have to stress as if you put your head on the pillow every night and know that you did everything you could today, physically and academically, to move the ball forward, you're going to be just fine. Um, but starting, tell me your thoughts on starting, Stu.
Well, I will tell you this, Jim. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have given me many suggestions that I have immediately started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a good track record of you saying you should do this. I'm like done.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's one thing that took me a decade to actually get done.
Yeah.
You know, and I really have no excuse why that was. I just didn't feel like making a video and going through the hassle of doing that and then me cranking out hundreds of push-ups in this video, which is boring to me to watch. But I came up with a different idea. So I needed a better idea of how I was going to take your piece of advice and make it happen. So it was a creative issue. It's almost like a writer's block that stumped me from starting on that project.
Yeah, but that was, you couldn't start until you had defined a goal
Right.
that it, what was it? Originally it was, I wanted a real-time workout video with Stu. Like,
Hmm.
hey, we're going to do push-ups together. We're going to do, now we're going to do push-ups. Now we're going to do pull-ups. And looking back, it wasn't practical.
Right.
But so you're like, what's the point? I mean, you're like, I don't have a strong why to do this, and you didn't believe it would work, and you didn't believe it would be valuable. So therefore, why start?
Right. That's a very good
Okay.
point.
And so that's why this comes before starting. A lot of people will run off. This is where bright shiny object comes from. They see something like, oh, I need to go buy this, but with no context, because defining the goal provides a context for everything that comes after. Okay, especially when you get down in here to the habit and the never quit. If this why is non-existent or weak, guess
Yeah.
what? You're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So, but start, okay, let that you have a well-formed goal, a well-formed target. There's something that you want to accomplish either daily or in the end, and there's an arrival point. Okay. So all that's good. I know what I want, why I want it. I believe I can get it. I've got faith that it's on its way. By the way, faith is the absence of doubt.
Yes. And we all
And
have it, by the way. We
oh
all
yeah,
have doubt. And I mean,
sure,
this there's a whole chapter on doubt in this. And you know what the other one is? The fear of failure,
sure.
right? So
Yeah,
doubt and fear of failure are two things that prevent you from starting,
yep,
but we all have it.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so assuming that I have taken care of all that, what is Stu Smith's number one tip for getting started? And don't say just start.
You know what? I was going to, Jim. Just like when people ask me, how do I get better at push-ups?
Drop and give me one.
Do some push-ups.
Yeah.
Um, I usually create an outline of
Okay.
what I need to do. So it is a step-by-step process of what I need to do. Outline, um, an index, a table of contents.
Okay.
That is where I go first before
So
I have done anything.
you create a plan.
Yes.
That's the first step for anything typically should be creating a plan. Because without a plan, yeah, I don't know what it is either, dude, but I figured you would like
We
finish it.
need something. We need
I,
something. Without a plan, you're not the man.
you're screwed. Um, I finished yours. You're like,
I
if there
know,
is,
I know, I
you know,
know. I left you hanging.
I was gonna, I had no idea, but I figured you'd do it. Okay, but I mean, really, first step is coming up with a plan.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes the plan is, I got to figure out what the hell it takes to accomplish the goal. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, the first step could be, I have no idea. I mean, it could be getting some education or
Yeah.
figuring it out. First step in the plan is figuring out how to come up with a plan.
Yeah. Doing your
So
research plan.
hire
Yeah.
somebody, get somebody to help you do it. Um, okay, so now assuming you have a plan, all right, but now we got a plan, but there's a difference between start and then let's kind of get into action. All right. So that's kind of a subset of start or getting into action, then finding the time, habit, consistent action. But again, give me some tactical stuff, consistent action habit. But up here, getting into action, give me like a quickity quick one, and then I'll share one. What would be your number one way to get into action? Like, I want to start working out. I've got my plan. I've got my Stu Smith workout. What do I do?
Start walking. I mean, just
Okay.
warm up. It's kind of a warm up process.
Yeah, just start walking.
Yeah, just start. Yeah, get moving.
I can't I can't tell you how many times, especially in February, when I do not want to work out. Like and so for me the workout starts with putting on my shoes. And then it's like if you're going to start working out, do a push up. Do a push up. It's like, well, I'm down here already, let me do a couple more. Another thing is I've got an auditory plus visual cue. You can't really, I don't, can you hear this? Do you hear that noise?
Yeah,
Okay. That's my that's my stopwatch starting. And I have
that
conditioned
helps me.
myself that when I hear the stopwatch noise, it's time to start. I just kind of conditioned myself with that. The other thing I do is I have on my calendar 6 a.m. gym workout, 6 a.m. to 7:15, 7:30 gym workout. Not GYM, but JIM. I guess I could do gym. Um, but what are some other things? What are some other things you could do to start?
Hmm. Uh, I do the clock thing too. Hear an alarm go. Whenever the second hand reaches the 12, I go. I get started. You know, I I
What
usually
about
just
social?
I literally just get started and start talking to people about it. And
Okay, stop.
yeah.
Because you were gonna, we're going the exact same direction. Social pressure.
Mm, okay.
You just said, talk to me about what you just said about you talk to people about it. What do you mean?
Well, like I'll bounce ideas off you or my wife and my kids and say, "Hey, what do you think of this? Do you think kids are like this?" Just to get some feedback on it. And usually I'll get an idea or two, or changes a little bit of a direction of the way I wanted to go.
Right,
Just by doing that, and it gives me a focus to just, oh, okay, I'll do that. Let me get that.
right. Well,
And
that
just
still
start
sounds
start
like
doing
it's
it.
kind of up here in the defining the goal thing. A little bit. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's 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 not like these are cut and dry, razor sharp edges between each one of them. So, sometimes the process starts by kicking around an idea. I mean, I have an idea for a one-on-one coaching program that I want to do that I called Susan about last weekend when I was driving home from my mom's, and we kicked it around, and now it's in. I mean, it's in the mental crock pot cooking stage, but it's coming together. I think for me also is creating a visual for me, like knowing what I want to get done, why I want to get it done, believing I can do it. And then a lot of times for me, starting is setting a deadline. And a deadline could
Oh,
be an appointment with myself on my calendar, like
yes.
from, at like today, from 8:30 to 9:30, I was working on something really that I've been thinking about since yesterday. And I know in my mind, okay, tomorrow at 8:30, I have to have my workout done. I have to have done my sauna, had my shower, take the dogs out, get dressed, all that other stuff, so that I can be sitting at my desk working and able to work on this from 8:30 to 9:30. And having that micro deadline or appointment or whatever, and having it that's how I get started with a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
Yeah. Deadlines, 100%. In fact, I just read a study. There's a Harvard study that said that you have like a 41% chance of increased success uh, by setting a deadline.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have a deadline that involves social proof, That's another reason why, whenever there's something big I know I want to get done, I got to have deadlines and I got to have social proof and I got to have financial pressure. So think about, okay, like when I wanted to redo all the content for my upcoming book, what did I do? I set a deadline of where I was going to teach the stuff. I sold tickets
Nice.
to people and I set a date. So I had social, financial, and deadline all baked into it where I had to show up and deliver because I'd already taken people's money by selling tickets.
Hmm.
That's, you think about even with when we do master classes and stuff, we do the same thing. I don't do the, hey, let me do the class and then I'll sell it, because then I'll never get it done. I got something else important always comes up. There's got to be a deadline and financial pressure and social pressure. That's the way to really get stuff done. What other ways can you make yourself start? So deadline, social pressure, financial pressure.
Hmm. I don't know, Jim. I will say you have hit all the ones I usually do,
Right.
and I have found that to be um, really all I need.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
to be honest with you.
the last one for me is internal pressure. That's the fourth one. And that comes from the why. Because with a strong enough why, you will get started immediately. If you got a strong enough why, you are not going to procrastinate in getting started. You're just not.
That's
Okay.
true.
Hell or high water. All right. Strong enough why, you're going to get it done. Now, what about this one? Finding the time. How do you find the time to get stuff done?
Um, I mean, you got to make time somewhere in your schedule to
You
do it.
can't make time. We only get we
Well,
only get we all get 24 hours in a day.
okay, that's fair. Mine is this: I have less leisure time,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. So I am not watching TV at night because I am staying up and getting this thing done. I'm getting up earlier and getting something done. So if I don't have time in my day, it's usually going to cause two things to happen. I sleep less or I sit and watch football games less or television less.
Right.
And just you gotta have that little discipline. So there's a disciplined factor to it that but once you do it a few times, you create this habit. Next thing you know, and once again, you have a strong enough why, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, the last two books I wrote, The Ageless Athlete, The Never Quit Mindset, and The Never Quit Stretching video, all of those required me to work extra in my day.
Right.
So, as you said, I didn't make time, but
You
I rearranged
allocated
I
time.
rearranged my schedule and worked longer. I mean, that was
Right.
just how it
But that
worked.
that why and I'm seeing some comments coming in from people, but the crux, it's the why. It's the why is more important than the what.
Yeah,
And it creates that internal pressure, but a strong enough why will automatically create discipline. It
that's true.
automatically will create it. You'll other things are not as important. So,
True.
I when I was poor, I was playing 4 to 5 hours of video games a day as an escapist thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I play probably 2 hours of video games a week
Mm,
on Saturday morning, before I do my Steve Smith Saturday workout.
yeah,
Um, and but the thing that people say, I got to make time. No, I got to allocate the resources to it. One of
that's
the
fair.
things that I'll do is in my schedule, I have 2 hours in my schedule that is in my schedule so that nothing can get scheduled over top of it, to be able to work on the stuff that I know I need to work on.
Yeah.
And then once a month, we have what we call Genie Week, where I don't have training, I don't have anything except working on, deep work stuff. Now, does it always work out? About half the time, which is better than it used to be, which was never.
Hmm.
So about half the time I can do a Genie Week. But that's, finding the time really is a misnomer. It's not find the time, it's allocate the time,
Yeah.
plan the time. And I came up with a thing that I call the two golden hours that I've taught in the past, where in summary, it's we all have a creative hour and we all have a mechanical hour in every single day, no matter how busy we are. The creative hour is when you can, I use the example, write articles, write sales copy, think creatively, come up with cool ideas. Then the mechanical hour, hey, it's fruit fly time. It's that time of year. Just had one fly at me. And then the mechanical one is where, you know what, I couldn't write copy, but I could go through and format it. I
Yeah.
could,
Edit
do
it.
copy and pasting, yeah, and editing, and if not editing, then at least formatting and organizing and pick, those types of things. And if you look at 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month. So that's 12 40-hour work weeks you could find over the course of a year.
Mm.
And imagine if you worked for 12 straight 40-hour weeks on a project. Do you think you could get that project done? And the answer is yes. And by the way, God forbid I should ask you to do anything on the weekend, you know,
Yeah.
because 4 hours on a Saturday, now all of a sudden that's another 200 hours a year, just 4 hours on a Saturday. 200 hours, that's another 5 40-hour work weeks. So that's 17 40-hour work weeks with very little impact on your life or schedule.
Yeah.
And so the time is there. You can't make more of it, but you can allocate it smarter.
Yes.
And I still like watching the Idiot Box, but I don't watch anything live. I will
Yeah. Same.
only watch stuff that's pre-recorded, that I can skip through the stupid parts or and definitely skip over the commercials.
Yep.
So, that's a little time machine too.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, this is interesting discussion.
Yeah. Is there a genie for that?
Um, that's interesting. Brad said you make time by choosing to take something else off of your schedule. Sometimes,
Yeah.
but oftentimes what you're choosing to take off, by what we're talking about here, is you're taking off non-productive shit anyway. Dennis Leary had a really funny, he's biting humor, but he said, smoking takes 7 years off your life, but it's the seven shittiest years anyway, so who cares? It's like,
Uh, Damn.
yeah, but on the flip side,
You're making them shittier.
it yes, you are. I understand.
Yeah.
But my point is that a year from now, the fact that you watched reruns of Sex in the City or you watched an extra hour of news every night, your life is not going to be any better at the end of the year. But if you took that same hour each day and
There you go.
invested it in yourself, your life could be significantly different. And if you did that for the next 5 years, your life would be massively different,
True.
massively different.
Yeah.
But that does remind me of a kind of a metaphor that I think it was my buddy Duke Clark was the first one I ever heard kind of say it this way. But everybody's always so eager to take on something new. I'm the same. There's something new. Ooh, hell yeah, let's do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. Great. So I want you to imagine you woke up this morning, got out of bed, you got on your pajamas, or maybe you sleep commando. I don't know. Don't care. Don't tell us in the comments. But you get up and you put on your workout clothes over top of whatever you slept in. You go work out, come home, don't take anything off, take a shower, soap up, get out. Now, don't take anything off, put on your clothes for the workday. Go through your workday. Now you come home, maybe you're sweaty from working in the yard. Okay, put on a change of clothes, but don't take off the old clothes. How long would it take you to look like Ralphie's little brother from A Christmas Story walking in that snowsuit? You're doing the same thing with your schedule if you think that you can take on all this new stuff and not take anything else off of your schedule. You can't do it. And that's one of the biggest reasons why you never get anything done and you can't affect a change because you're trying to do it all and you can't do it all. And that's kind of where the 2 golden hour thing came from, because I always knew intrinsically there's always a couple hours that you're screwing off. So if you can't really give up anything, you can at least find 2 hours that you could use to do something new, to maybe replace something that you have to keep doing.
Yeah.
Um, so anything. Susan says you can't make time. You have to take time away from something else. Yeah, that's true. So do, 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 do. This is it. Michelle shares something, says, I just got back from Billy Graham's training center, and when asked by Greta
Suffering.
Grand Susteren of his
Yeah.
last interview, if he'd do anything different in his life, his reply would have taken less meetings with global officials, presidents, etc., and I would have stayed in prayer more, meditated more, and read the word more.
Hmm.
Interesting. Mm. Anyway,
Huh.
yeah. Mm, so are these just the ramblings of a couple of old men, Stu, or do you think there might be something here that we ought to share with the folks while we're still upright?
Yeah, I think so. Especially if we combine it with, an actual project to do versus a mystery project that you have to figure out. Tie this in as like a chapter, a piece of the course that just gets you started. I mean, how many times have you gone to a seminar or purchased something online and watched all the tapes and you got smarter, but you didn't do anything with it, you know?
I see what you're saying. So give me an example, like what, or so what you're saying is if we did teach this, we should teach this, but also teach it with the context of something that everybody would be doing. It's kind of
Yes.
like eighth grade art. We're all going to be painting a picture today. The
Yeah.
quality of
Yeah.
your picture.
Yeah. Apply it to, I mean, instead of having some abstract goal that we're trying to
Right.
set, we actually have that,
And
and a section of that will be here's how we get started.
so a group context.
Yeah.
I like it. Uh,
Yeah.
so in the comments, you all, and again, this is again literally I have up on my screen the onboarding email genie purchase. We were going to do that, but it, in the chat, give us an idea, your best idea, if we were going to teach this, all right, framework, which I think we could do very handily in an afternoon. And then if we were going to then, so teach the framework and then apply the framework, what would be a thing that we could do that would apply the framework? I'm not sure. Like, give me your thought. Would it be writing a book chapter? Would it be starting a workout, going on a diet? What would be a thing? Oh, excuse me. What would be a thing that all of us together could do as a group that would be useful? Create a business plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
A new
uh,
project. You know,
yes.
a new project in your current business.
Okay. That would be
You know, for
something.
instance, like you know, I'm not sure what my next project is going to be, but 6 months ago, I didn't have a video out, and I created this new project for myself and figured out how I was going to get it done. In fact, I even told you, Jim, it's going to get done this week. Right. So I did exactly what we just mentioned in there. I publicly announced it. I talked about it for a little bit and um, gave myself a deadline.
And you leveraged your son's time to
Yeah.
do
My
the recording.
son was available.
He got a job yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, there you
I mean,
go.
he has a job, but it's not his permanent
Job.
job. Yeah.
Right. He's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Not just cooling his nose in the fridge.
Right.
Okay, cool. Um, okay. Well, I'd be curious. I'm just curious. Okay. I don't know the answer, but I like the idea of having everybody do something. So we'll cook on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't really have anything else. Um,
What were you gonna do?
we were going to talk about automating your follow up and getting people to buy additional stuff without pissing them off from the initial sale.
Oh, is that similar to the email that you sent this morning about getting customers to come back?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That
It,
that was
there's
good. That
there's
was
kind of
good.
a method to our madness here of like having an actual theme, a theme and organization and stuff that builds upon other things. It's just for grins. Thought I'd try organization. Um, so that was the thought, but this was much more interesting and fun. Um, so that's all, that's
Yeah.
what we were going to talk about. Well, this is kind of cool. Anytime we can fill the board up and it means something to me, only thing I got to do is get better at drawing pictures on there instead of just words, because then that makes it more effective.
Yeah, the end result of what we just discussed, like
Hmm.
behind you, is quite confusing. Right? When I look at it, I'm like, good Lord,
Yeah.
what is all that? But as we do it one step at a time, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So
So this will be
I'm gonna rewatch this and take my own notes on it and figure it out.
now we're going to do something fun. I'm going to see if I can. We're gonna do something fun. All right. This will be good because we won't see you next week. So,
Mm.
okay. So the first step of this whole process is to define your goal. Okay.
Okay.
So I've always represented a goal as a little present, you know, what's the thing I want? Or you could do it another way that I've done it is as a diamond. Okay. So the thing that you want, the goal. All right. What's the thing that you want to achieve? But I need to have it over here on the right because we want to indicate people making a progression from where they are to where they want to be. This is going to turn into the hero's journey, right? So so um if that was it, that's the goal. So the first thing we got to do is define, okay, what it is, why we want it. We got to believe we can get it and have faith it's on its way. So what would be something we could use to represent the image of what? Perhaps a
Question mark.
question mark with a circle. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what would be, and y'all are welcome to participate with us as well. What would be a good picture for a Y? I don't know. Somebody asked ChatGPT. So
Hmm.
I'm
How about
gonna,
a
I'm
little
gonna.
face that does this? Hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. No, 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 no. I
Yeah.
like it.
Thinking
Okay.
face. Oh, a light bulb.
Okay. So a little thinky face like that, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or a light bulb. Okay. Or both
There you
with the
go.
little thought bubbly thingy.
Oh, yeah. Even better.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what would be a picture for believe?
Um. Uh. The strong arm emoji.
How about the little dude with
Thumbs.
two thumbs
Thumbs up.
up?
Thumbs up. I
Okay.
believe.
I
Okay.
got this.
I got
All
it.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then what would be, I still haven't asked ChatGPT, what would be a faith? What would be a picture for faith?
The little
Okay.
prayer emoji.
All right. Uh that's my little guy. He looks kind of, oh,
Little
I know what
halo.
it is. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do. A little halo with a cloud. Okay. So I got faith that it's on its way. Sweet.
Right.
All
Okay.
right, cool.
I like it.
So now let's keep going. All right. So start.
Say again.
How no start the
Oh,
thing
the
was
next.
start.
Oh, the next.
Yeah,
Oh, the next
yeah,
section is
start
start.
getting into
Okay.
action. Okay.
Okay.
So
Got it.
if we're in the action phase, I really hope that my buddy Dan Rome would be proud of me right now because with my back of the napkin stuff. So
Yeah. Running.
okay, so got my starting gate. Okay, so now he's starting, and we've got this road that we have to run down to get to this, right? Looks like American Ninja Warrior. It's like that last curved thing where you got to run and jump up and grab the thing. Okay. And if y'all are wondering what the hell we're doing, we're just doing our thing. Okay. So, consistent habit. The next thing is find the time. So, how would we indicate finding the time? What would be a visual for finding the time? Like
Clock.
finding the time, making the time,
Clock hands.
um, allocate the time. Okay. So a clock and then probably a checklist, right? Because if it's
Yep.
not on the list,
Doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist. All right. And then consistent habit. This would be, I think that would be the arm, you
Okay.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Getting stronger with each habit. Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So, okay. Now that looks really,
I like it.
I'm
Oh, I
just
like it.
going to
That's good. That's good. I think
leave
it.
that.
I like it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like it.
Okay. So building a habit. So this is allocate time. I'm already writing sales in it. Why? You'll never find the time and what to do instead. Ah, there's a bullet.
Mm.
All right. So habit, build habit, and then never quit. So never quit feels like it should have more than just like, this kind of thing. Like what would be a couple three or a progression of never fit, never quit?
Um,
Well, I think somebody just said,
I,
who was it? Susan said a calendar, which I think a calendar should be part of it, right?
yeah, I like that. I was thinking more of like Atlas carrying something up that hill, just never stopping.
That's Florida, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, he got a little sweat working there, but he's carrying that thing. And then what's kind of the what's the culmination type thing of like, yes,
I mean, you're done, right?
Stu,
Or
Stu, if it's
yeah.
the hero's journey,
Oh,
it's you're never done.
that's true. That's true.
You're just
You've
ascending to the next level.
you've gone to Fiverr and get your cover done.
And then it's you standing at the top of the mountain with the
with my
mountain
Fiverr
cutting
cover.
with your I'll put a fiver on there instead of an S for Superman. Um Now, if we explain this with the pictures, all right, and if we were going to do this in quadrants
Mm,
in those parts, okay, just even though it's not just it's quadrants, okay? There's four
okay.
parts. All right, so quadrant one is figuring out the goal. What do you want? Why do you want it? Do you believe you can have it? And do you have faith you can achieve it? Once you fully defined it, now it's time to get into action. And the first part of action is start, whether that's coming up with a plan
Yep. Research.
or research, okay? Laying out the path. Once you have, oh, I like that. The path. It's all about getting started down the path. Define the path. Define one is to define the path, and two, start on the path. And then a subset of that is allocating the time ahead of time, creating the time and and social pressure. And how do we indicate a deadline? How do we indicate a deadline? What's a picture for a deadline? We already did a clock.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'm just gonna ask
What's a
ChatGPT.
deadline emoji? Oh,
What is
hourglass.
perfect? So deadlines, deadline, okay?
Yep. Yep.
And then once you've got the plan, the allocated time, the social pressure, the deadline, maybe some financial pressure, okay? Then we start down the path. So maybe no, that's fine.
Yeah.
And now it's all about execution. All right. And execution, building the habit, never quit. Always. Look at this. Watch what I do here, Stu. Keeping track of your progress. You see what
Mm.
I'm doing there?
Yeah, I
Marking
like it.
off on
I
the
like it.
calendar
Yep, yep.
until finally one day you arrive. But then you realize once you accomplish the goal or reach the objective, it's not about what you did, it's about who you became
Mm.
on Fiverr. Anyway, so anyway, explained it that way. Now, let me ask y'all a
Yeah.
question. Now we went from words, it's like words, words, words. I feel like something out of like Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights with just words.
You know,
Now explain. Go ahead.
there's a next section to this,
Okay,
and that
which is
is
what?
selling what you just did.
Oh, assuming you made. I mean, what? What if this was a weight loss goal? I'm gonna sell
Uh,
myself. I'm gonna get me OnlyFans now, right? Is that what you're
start
saying?
taking pictures, posting
Okay.
them. You know,
The
advertise it.
the next chapter. That's right, man. Stu's trying to turn me out on OnlyFans. Thanks, Stu. But then you start writing the next chapter.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, this actually that's a fun way to explain it too. It actually probably makes more sense
No, I like
than
that.
words.
It's a process.
Sure. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
that translated into words.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. So really what you got to do though is cool. Well, that was fun. Ramblings of Jim and Stu. All right. Well, we've reached the end of our time together, folks. We appreciate you. Won't be with you next week, so it's going to be a couple of weeks. If you enjoyed that, and if you're watching us on the Facebooks or the YouTubes or the LinkedIn's or wherever we actually stream this, please give us a like, give us a comment. For those of you who are with us live on the streaming page on our website, appreciate the comments. Good to see y'all. Want to acknowledge. Go ahead, Dave, Brad, Susan, Michelle, Terry, Dave, bunch of people. So I appreciate y'all. Active group today. So well done. Any final words, Stu?
No, man, let's get going. Let's do
Okay,
this.
cool. All right. Well, keep your eyes peeled, kids, and everybody have a wonderful day. And we will talk to you soon. Oh, and by the way, if you need to create some cool content or sales copy, you can head on over to copyandcontent.ai. And if you want to get in shape and never quit, head on over to
StuSmithFitness.com.
.com. All right, cool. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.